Okay, everyone is here, so let's start. Hello to the TOC meeting on 24th of October. The agenda for today is to review the action items from last week. We'll get an update from the docs, our new working group, the docs working group, review PRs and RFC, and talk about any other business. So let's check the action items from last week. The first one is on Chris. He's not there, so I will just move it to the meeting from today. Regarding the FIPS situation.
Yep. So I had a discussion with Mark Lewis and getting final confirmation from Henry, the security manager. But going forward, the plan is from Canonical, they will only submit the LTS releases for FIPS validation, primarily because it takes them about 4 to 6 months to finalize the modules for submission. And then it's anywhere from 18, 24, 27 months for NIST to actually do the certification. So it doesn't make sense for them on their intermediate releases to do all that work.
So that means every second year, so LTS releases are coming every...
LTS is usually every 2 years, if I remember correctly.
Yes. Yeah.
Which would make sense, because you figure if they start 6 months in by the time they set their modules, then you're almost at 3 years lifespan before it actually gets certified.
Yeah. Okay. We clarified this. I updated the RFC number of the last RFC we approved regarding the matrix agent deprecation. So that one had didn't use the template. That's why I had to do it manually. So when the file name doesn't follow the expected rules like RFC draft and something, the automation doesn't work. But this is done. Here is the commit. And I also posted in our TOC channel to notify the working group leads about the 2 RFCs, which can have impact on all of the working groups. So the one about promotion of working group leads, and the other one about the FIPS stemcells. So I got some checks on that one. Now we can continue with the next point in the agenda with the update from the docs working group.
Good morning.
Hi, Anita. Yeah, hi.
This should be short. We've had 2 monthly meetings so far. The only attendees have been those people who have been invited, or those people from the TOC who are just making sure everything works, which has been great. Only one issue has been dealt with so far, and that was my worry about the pipeline stopping working and not being supported. But we now have a volunteer group from VMware who will be maintaining our pipeline for us. So that's disaster averted, I think. I think that's all there is to report.
So are there any changes to the documentation structure or expected when the pipeline moved to another CI?
No, the pipeline won't move. The pipeline will remain where it is, and just the difference is that we will have official support for it. Up till now, we've been trying to support it ourselves, but we don't have the engineering expertise to make sure that it stays running. So that was worrying me, but it's going to stay exactly where it is. There won't be any changes.
And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Anita, but in the short term, the engineer or multiple, I'm not sure, are going to work on updating Bookbinder. So doing some minimal
hope
things to get it
so.
on a modern Ruby, things like that.
I hope so, but I haven't had confirmation of any of that yet.
Got it. Okay.
Thank you. That's it for me.
Okay, thank you, Anita. Is there anything you would like from us? Any support?
No, I haven't been shy. So
Yeah.
I'll be sure to ask if anything comes up. Thanks for your support.
You're welcome. Okay, then let's go to the PRs for review. The first one is the script, which can generate the contributions for a given user and given working group. So I was able to execute it successfully on my machine. It generated contributions for my working group. Yeah. I looked also through the code, but yeah, it looks good. It's advanced bash programming. I don't know whether you would like to have some tests for this.
I have no trouble in approving it and merging it, and if it's useful, it can be used, and if not, then nothing breaks. So it's no risk, right? And if it helps, all is good.
Yeah,
but of course, I don't understand the special madness.
Yeah, it's just for convenience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's.
Okay. The next one is a repository which go-uaa. It didn't have. It looks like it didn't have any home. No, it is part of the foundation infrastructure working group. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it will need to be manually moved, right? So the automation will now create the repository, but that will be an empty repository. So that just needs to be deleted, and then the actual repository needs to be moved.
Because it's
in Cloud Foundry community.
Sounds
Sounds like a great action item for Chris, who's not here.
Yeah, sounds good.
Unless do you all have admin powers in Cloud Foundry community?
That's the beauty. Everybody has.
Oh, do we really?
I mean, I think that was like the whole point about the community. Everybody got admin.
Okay, we can't put it on Chris.
Let's see if I have the powers to do it. Yeah, looks like it.
I'm actually not a member.
Sorry?
Of this other GitHub repo. Or
I'm
this other
moving
GitHub
it currently. I have to do some confirmation stuff.
Thanks, Ruben.
But it's in flight.
It's in our working group. Okay, Ruben. Thank you. The next one is about promoting Andrew and Dave for working group leads, but it's still so we need to approve first the rules how we want to promote working group leads.
Yeah, this was the only conversation, unless there's been some this morning, that I left unresolved. Max suggested maybe we should like require some amount of voting. I thought it's hard enough getting some approvals on PRs. I wanted to make voting optional so that the approvers had a voice, but not force it so that we can, yeah, get things done without waiting on too many people.
Yeah, I also went through the current state and I'm okay with it. Are there any other comments?
I think I added one comment regarding that one of the current working group leads must vote, and that can lead to a deadlock, I would say. For instance, there are at least 3 working groups that have just one working group lead. It's the same person that is technical and execution lead. And if this person steps down and for whatever reason does not vote, then this must I mean, yeah, we have this RFC to overrule everything, but maybe we change it to a should. I don't know. This was the only thing that it can lead then to ever hanging PRs, and we don't know what to do.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, otherwise it makes
1 hour
sense.
ago.
Yeah. That's my usual schedule. Before the TOC meeting, I go through all the PRs.
Thought I was so
That's why
smart
it
looking
comes.
last night. That sounds good. I'll change wording around that. But we can always be the working group we ourselves, as we know. Yeah.
Okay.
Given these small changes, do you think we can start the 1 week final comment period?
I think so.
Yeah. If there are no votes against starting, we can start.
Does it make sense for Amelia to start it once she has pushed the changes?
Yeah, also good.
Just
Sure, I
like
can do
leave the
that.
comments.
Yeah.
So we all agree that it's the timeline matches.
Yeah. Action item for Amelia. And the last one is the FIPS. So I also got some feedback there, and I tried to add it to the RFC. So basically, CF deployment is validating at the moment on GCP and AWS. And yeah, Johan wanted that we mentioned that we should validate on one of those 2 or on both of them and keep Azure out of scope for now. I think it makes sense to reduce efforts and costs.
Yeah,
Just to
makes sense.
reduce existing automations.
But then it seems like we could probably also start the final comment period for this one.
Yeah. It feels too fast for me. Yeah, but there are no comments. I already also asked in the channel.
I think it's also because some of this stuff has been discussed before, right?
Yes.
So there's already quite a lot of alignments.
Yeah. So we also discussed this in our foundational infrastructure working group last Thursday, so we didn't find any additional comments we wanted to put. Yeah.
Mhm. Do we
Okay.
want to have a, how long is the final comment period? Sometimes it's 2 weeks, but are we gonna do just 1 week? Or is it 2 weeks?
It is 1 week usually, or
Yeah,
isn't
I would.
it?
Yeah, I think, but for some things we set a longer time, but that was usually because of, I don't know, some limited availability. I think with a conference or something, we did that 2 week, but usually it's 1 week.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was the CF day in Europe that we delayed the
Yeah,
last one.
yes. So we don't have plans to cancel the meeting next week, or no?
No.
It's not a holiday in Germany. It's Wednesday. Wednesday is a holiday, but Tuesday is.
Yeah. Germans always have holidays.
Work-life balance. Get this accepted next Tuesday. Okay, we have artificial. Okay, any other business? So regarding, yeah.
Yeah, I had a question about VIPS.
Mhm.
In the past, there was a discussion with Canonical to get some access to VIPS packages. And at that time, I believe they said something about a timeline for when those were going to be available. But they haven't, or they currently are not available yet for Jemmy, and I think they should have been. So I don't know if there's an escalation path that we would have to bring that up with Canonical again. Because that would, like, there are all sorts of ambitions in that VIPS RFC, but I mean, it all depends on those packages actually being available to us.
Yeah, well, when I hear back from the security manager on his confirmation, I will raise it up at least from my side through CloudGov, just to see if the Mark's got any status update on it.
Okay, yeah, that would be good. Thanks.
I can also ask internally our colleagues who are communicated with Canonical to check on this.
Yeah. Yeah, I've already done a similar thing myself, but I think it's good to raise it from multiple sides. We had more success last time doing that.
Yeah, because the last I checked, Ruben, I don't think we've got any meetings on the books with the whole group. We haven't had one in about 3-4 weeks now, I believe.
Yeah, so I mean, we can try it async, and if that doesn't help, we maybe might need another meeting. Let's see if we have an update next week.
Yeah, I put so I put an action item here on me and Chris. Yeah, good point. Yeah.
I think it's not even the CFF access thing. The access is okay. It's just the fact that the packages aren't available in the FIPS dash updates channel or the FIPS channel in general. for Jammy. Because they have given the account, or they have onboarded the account for the foundation. That all is all done. It's just using that account. The packages aren't available. But that's not really CFF specific. I think it's more in general. For nobody, they are available.
Okay, I try to formulate it.
Okay. That's all.
So we've been talking with Chris, Quark, Stephan, and me regarding the issue we have to get access to approvals to work with GitHub Actions. So he wanted to check with GitHub about whether the enterprise plan will bring the required feature or not. And but to have the enterprise plan, the prerequisite is to clean up the inactive users we have, because the enterprise plan depends on how many members you have in the organization, and we have too many inactive at the moment, which will bring a lot of additional cost to the foundation if we go with the enterprise plan. It is not clear whether this will solve our issue here, but anyway, we wanted to clean up the inactive users. That's why I brought this here as any other business. I think the first step should be to create an RFC which defines what an inactive user is. And then we can walk into tools how we can find those users.
Is there a number that we're trying to get it under? Like when you do the enterprise plan, is it per person? Is it per like under 100 or under something?
So at the moment, according to Chris, we have around 600, 700, and they could be, we can reduce to around 200. And costs are per member, per user account, so that we can have a factor of 2 less costs.
Makes sense.
I can create a draft. Try to come up with a draft here for inactive user for an RFC, and then, or if anyone else wants to jump, just. I don't hear any. Okay. I'm taking this, and the other one is I've been going through the open issues we have in our community repository. I closed some, but there are also some open issues which could be closed. I think I wasn't sure about some of them. Maybe we can just have a short time-boxed view on the. I can increase my screen a little bit. So the first one is the one by Stephan about what we just talked about. So this one is to get rid of users which are manually added to the repositories. I don't think that we have an automation in place at the moment which does this. No. So this is still relevant, so to say. Okay, we can keep this open. So there is a
seems to-
discussion of, sorry?
Yeah, it maybe has a bit of overlap with the RFC that you're creating, right? Like, or at least like once we have the user cleanup RFC, then once we go into tooling, then this one becomes relevant.
Maybe it's about inactive users, and this is about users manually added to repositories with some rights to push.
See. Yeah,
Um,
it's different.
yeah. The next one is how to assign people to issues and PRs. Yeah, this is something with Patrick. Yeah, I asked him whether I don't think it is relevant at the moment for us. This one is to have the insights, yeah, to have the Linux Foundation insights ports configured better for our projects. I asked Chris what is the state here. Let's see. And regarding the bot accounts require clearer definition. So we have now in our automation, so there is place to add bots, but this is, I think, more it's not resolved by the fact that we can add bots to our working group descriptions. So this is quite old. I don't have any history. Has this been addressed with that option to add bots to the working group description, Stephan? No.
I don't think so. We can now grant bots certain rights, for instance,
Yeah.
repository admin rights, or I think it's edit rights that they can commit. But it's not defined where, for instance, the credentials are stored. And that's also, it depends really on the working group. I mean, the runtime deployments working group, I think they are stored in a Github instance that is part of the landscapes. Others use private repositories to store them. There's no
clear
description and
guidance.
who can create and grant them. I mean, this is indirectly defined because you need admin rights, right?
Yeah.
And the work group leads.
Okay, I see this is still relevant. Some parts have been addressed, but some still open. Well, we can keep this open. And the last one is about supply chain security risk and how we can address those. So we had some discussions in the foundation infrastructure working group, and I think we can just, when we do something in that direction, could be referenced, so the community issue could be referenced. So
Yeah, it's still an ongoing topic. It's just prioritized a bit differently right now, or like it's the priority within VMware has been shifted a bit. we're going through some turbulent times. So, but, I don't know. Hopefully, in the next month, it will change again. We'll see.
But it's still relevant, and there are some discussions how we can make the situation better for the foundation. Yeah. Okay, I see. Then when you think that we should address some of the issues, you can put them. Or I will take, when we have capacity to work on something, I can take. We can vote which one makes sense and then take. Yeah. Is there anything else? No, then yeah, have a great day, evening. Take care and see you next Tuesday. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye, folks.
Bye.
Thanks.